thoughts on the game. Now, it is going to be kind of hard to have more clear thoughts because we played this for 2 days in a row last week. But it has been, what, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has been 9 days since we last played, so the thoughts are not as clear in my head, but I'll try to do my best to remember. I think gameplay-wise, I think it actually feels a bit dated, I would say. It reminds me of when you play BioShock Infinite and then you go play BioShock 1. And you can feel the difference in the impact of the gameplay by just simply playing the game. Like, you can feel like there's not any hit vibration to, like, your bullets hitting enemies, which is kind of what gets done. It's just little small things they've done to refine gameplay elements and just games in general. I can see this game just lacks in terms of like being a third-person style game. So it reminds me of like BioShock 1. I played BioShock Infinite first, and then I went back to play BioShock 1. Very eye-opening experience for me because it was just like, wow, they really refined the feel of the gunplay in that game. And I would say it was probably the same in this too. You could just kind of feel that it doesn't feel like, let's say, like a modern game, which this was a PS3 game, like a late PS3 game too. This came out the year of the PS3. So there's some PS2 games that honestly feel, I would say that they could still feel like PS4 games, potentially PS5 games. I would say this game feels very much like a PS3 game. Uncharted 1 has the same feeling too. If you go back and you play Uncharted 1 and you play Uncharted 3 or Uncharted 4, they don't, even though they're the same genre of game, same style of game, they do not feel the same when you play them like from 4 to 1. It's because the gameplay got refined. The feel of the game has gotten refined. I would say the same. I do appreciate that they had shoulder swap in this game, though. I feel like that's something that games nowadays kind of, like some games nowadays, just kind of forego now. So I thought it was nice that you could swap your shoulder. I thought that was really great. I thought the upgrade path was pretty cool. I thought the gear was pretty nice. I forgot that fast travel was in the game. I do wish there was more of a reason to do the collectathon stuff. I wish, like, you got something for doing it or something. Maybe have some of the weapon attachments behind some of the collectathon stuff. I know that might sound like a dance game or appeal to someone else, but I don't really like the idea of the skill tree, the gun upgrades just being fully locked behind Savage, because then it doesn't really give you any reason of doing the, like, there's no real reason to do the collectibles, really. Like, you just do them just to do them. And many games have done this, and that's fine. I just wish there was, I would say the exact same thing in those games I'd say in this. I just wish there was more reason to do that stuff. Whatever it may be. Maybe she says something. Maybe if it's just like a little like one-liner or two-liner or brief, anything about what she thinks they're related to or something. I would even take that. So I wish there was something for that for the collectibles, because there's quite a few of them. Like some of them, there's like 10 of each, and you can't pick them up unless you're standing near them on the Batman Detective Vision or the Laura Vision. So they don't show up on the map like every other collectible, which is kind of odd. I would say it's kind of weird. I wonder why they did that. But I guess they wanted people to be a challenge, even though it's technically just a collectible. But so there's that. I wish they would do more with that. I thought the skill tree was nice. I do think the game doesn't I played on the hardest difficulty, so, and I don't feel like the game realistically puts you in many situations where dodge counter and all this stuff, you're going to use it. I feel like you, the player, have to put yourself in situations to use this stuff, because you are so powerful in this game that the way the game's designed, you can alienate yourself from a whole experience. Like I looked it up, right? We looked it up that there's an achievement to get 25 kills with this stuff. I don't even think I did a dodge counter on enemies more than maybe like 10 times, maybe, because I never had an enemy get in my face. Because dirty tricks, which you get before dodge counter, you can just throw stand in their face, and then there is no repercussion as long as you're not surrounded by enemies. to just axing a dude over and over and over and over again. He can't do anything to you. Some armor enemies can't even do anything to you. You can just sit there and just whack, whack, whack. So what's the point of doing this when you can just save ammo and just melee do it to death? And it wasn't like I was avoiding this on purpose just because I could do this. It never really became a factor. So I think this all stems from the fact that she's just too powerful. Her weapons do some ludicrous amounts of damage later in the game that the whole architecture of like armored guys doesn't really even become an actual thing you have to actually worry about. You can just treat them like every other enemy in the game and just gun them down. You don't have to treat them special. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to like melt their armor, decay their armor in any way. Like you just plow through them like they're paper. So it felt like I was playing it on easy. I mean, yeah, you take damage when you get surrounded in this game. You definitely take damage. It does not take that many bullets to put you down to compensate. So I think that's well, but I will say it's probably not even enough to justify the damage that you can put out. I like the story. I think the story is actually pretty cool. I like the whole idea of them being trapped on the island. I think it's pretty cool. I think the people they want you to dislike are written pretty well and are pretty unlikable. I think that's great. I think Laura herself is pretty likable in this game. I don't think she's bad or anything at all. I think she's pretty nice. I don't know why it's zoomed all the way on her. You can only see the top of her head here, but I thought the supporting cast were fine. I don't think any of them are really like that standout-ish, really. I think it's really just centered on her. Or Roth. I thought his character was really good. I enjoyed him. I thought he was really nice. I thought the voice acting was fine. It didn't sound terrible. I thought it was really good. The only thing that's kind of a little ridiculous is Lara. The only thing that's kind of ridiculous is the amount of BS she kind of goes through is a little bit, like, don't get me wrong, like Nathan Drake in Uncharted, he goes through some bullshit. Like, you know, you got the iconic scenes, right? The train scene in 2 and the helicopter, the plane scene in 3 and all this stuff, right? He got some ridiculous stuff he goes through in those games. But this is like that it's like this, but on steroids. Like, she goes through so much crap. She gets impaled. Like, the whole thing in The Last of Us. She literally goes through the thing in Last of Us Part 1. And Joel is out for, like, a while after it. Right? He's done. Right? It's their excuse for you to play as Ellie. He's tapped out. He's on the verge of dying. Laura gets impaled at the very beginning of the game before you even do anything. And then she just walks it off. And then suddenly it's a plot point like 5 hours into the storyline later, like out of nowhere. Like, the lady is literally Wolverine in this game. She like, explosions are happening, and then it just compiles into another explosion, into another explosion, until she's falling down the cliff, into another explosion, until she, like after a while, it's just like, I don't even think Uncharted got like this crazy. It's kind of like, you got to suspend your a little bit, like, was it suspend your disbelief? I think this game's asking you a little too much for that. Like, she's going through some absurd shit in this game, I would say. There's no way you'd make it out of all that. I think that there was like one segment where it was just non-stop falling into an explosion, into her getting like falling 30 feet, and then she slides again, and then she smacks the ground again, and then it just keeps, and I'm just like, bro, you would have died on the first one. After a while, it just becomes just, this is a little too much. I do think it's a little too much, and sometimes, but it's entertaining though. It's funny to laugh at. Like I said, it's an enjoyable game though. I don't think it's bad. It just becomes cartoony after a while. But I'm glad to revisit this game, and it doesn't make me not look forward to. It doesn't have me not look forward to Rise and Shadow. I heard Rise is really good. I've heard conflicting things, but not much about Shadows. But I've always heard that Rise was really good, so I look forward to playing that one. So it was nice revisiting this game. I enjoyed it. It kind of makes me, honestly, it makes me want to replay through Uncharted, just to kind of compare. Like, I don't think Uncharted gets this up like crazy. It does on the spiritual vibes though.